I just got through playing the trial for EA Sports College Football 25, and I'm not gonna hold you. I've been absolutely no life the hell out of the Road to Glory mode, and I may end up playing the other modes at some point when the game does come out. But that mode is great. Okay, like my only gripe with that mode is I probably say two things. Like one, when it comes to customizing your player, you are kind of limited to what you could put on yourself in the sense of face mask and helmet specifically. Because if you got a certain type of helmet, you can't get a certain type of face mask. And I don't know if that's a manufacturer issue or is this a developer issue per se, because we have seen like manufacturers of different things like cars, for example, they don't like the idea of people playing a game but they can just trick out certain rides. Either that or they'll green light certain vehicles that's mad old and not really a modern car. But apart from that, I would have preferred the ability to compete in drills to kind of earn your stripes, so to speak, in the sense of the stars you get like when you go into selecting your school and how many schools are interested in you. But nevertheless, I like the idea or the concept of what they did, where you could choose to be a 5-star recruit off the rip, or you could choose to be a 1-star recruit and kind of really work your way up the depth chart, go to practice all the time. And even with practice, I feel like that is something also I have an issue with, where it's more of a you just run a couple drills and that's it, compared to like in other games where it felt like the practice was much more important because it keyed in on an opponent's weaknesses and strengths, even going over plays that you know is going to garner you the most success. And if you play on defense, you would try to go at an opponent's favorite play that they like to dial up a lot. And maybe that's something they can look into when it comes to the next game next year, where if you get up to 99 overall, practice really becomes unimportant. Now, what I did specifically, I chose to be a 5-star recruit, going to Tulane, which I think is either under the 2 or 3-star. You'll probably see it in the gameplay. I wanted a little bit of a challenge to where I could be this 5-star recruit, which we know we've seen it sometimes where the top ranked recruit will end up going to the worst school possible, somewhere in the middle, like a 3 or 4-star school. That way they can kind of help put that school on the map, get them national recognition, being the top 25, even climbing up the rankings and kind of earning your place in the college football world, going as far as like making the college football playoff. But the last I checked, by the time I got to end the trial, I somehow slipped from 9th to 13th, even though I didn't lose a game. And who was I replaced by? By 2 teams with 3 losses. By this point in the season, I'm already like looking at the college football playoff bracket. I'm not even in the bracket. And guess who is in the bracket? The Memphis Tigers, and they're ranked 24th, which I find not only insulting, but just outright goofy. Now, do I think that's a problem with the game? Not necessarily. It ain't nothing but goofy activities. But it's one of the things that if that was a scenario to happen in real life, I'm pretty sure people would be rioting in the streets. Because there is no way in hell you could put a 3-loss team ahead of a undefeated team, a team that's been busting their ass week in and week out, just to say, oh, you're being replaced by a weaker team. I love what they did with the gameplay. It feels tight, it feels fluid. The animations are pretty solid. The commentary in the game is fantastic, leagues better than what they got going on in Madden. It kind of makes you feel like you're actually low-key watching the game. Now, it ain't gonna get to the point where you're gonna hear any one of the commentators like scream, but they are going to talk loud at least when a big play happens or when you do win the game. The camera angles is very nostalgic. You can have an up close feel, or you can kind of dial it back to like a 3rd-person view to kind of let you be able to see the plays you're calling if you're a quarterback, or to really have an eye on what you're supposed to do. Now, in terms of like what you're doing in the Road to Glory mode, where you're earning your coach's trust, which unlocks more different play calls. Now, I did find a little bit of a cheese that you could do. If you do a lot of hurry up offense, you can easily call a different play on the fly instead of having to rely on any coach's trust. Now, if y'all want me to, I would love if I could do like a whole series where I'm playing as Ricky Bobby, was a quarterback of Tulane, trying to take them to the promised land. And a couple other ideas I would have is, let's say, you know, I play long enough and I have Ricky Bobby become a coach in Dynasty, and have a separate road to glory where I kind of play as Bobby Boucher. If you know the Water Boy, you know who that is. I'm not sure if I would want to have Bobby Boucher either as a linebacker or a running back, but it would either be one of those two, and as a coach as well in a whole different dynasty. But let me know in the comments if that's something that y'all will be interested in seeing on this channel. And with that being said, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.